Creating a business email ID using Amazon SES. Hello everyone, my name is Ankush Jain and in this video I will show you how you can create a business email ID using Amazon SES. This business email ID will be completely free. You won't be paying any additional charges to maintain this business email ID. Okay, so let's first understand what is a business email ID. So here you can see this is my website coderjourney.com, and if I just refresh it, you can see the domain of my website is coderjourney.com. And if I say I want to maintain an email ID like this, mail@coderjourney.com, which is having my domain name in the email address itself. So I will call this email ID a business email ID. And if someone sends an email on this email ID, I will receive the mail. And if I want to send someone to an email, then I can use this email ID to send that email. So this business email ID looks more professional. So we are going to learn how we can create this in SES. So these are the four steps that we are going to cover in this video. First, we'll see what AWS regions support this kind of feature. Then we will create a verified identity in SES. And in last three and fourth segment, we will see how we can configure SES to receive and send email. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get started. So let's understand what AWS region supports this email receiving feature. So I'm on this page and I will provide the link of this page in the description below. So you can just get onto this page from that link. So if I just open this and I will find a link here, email receiving supported regions. And when I click on this link, it is a AWS documentation link that says that only these three regions, North Virginia, Oregon, and Ireland, support this email receiving feature. So in this demo, we are going to use North Virginia region, and you should also use any of these three regions. Okay, so that's the first point, and we are done with that. So now the second point is creating a verified identity in SES. So what I will do, I will go here in my AWS console. I will just type SES and will click Amazon Simple Email Service. And here I will click on verified identities and I will click on create identity. I will select domain and I will type the domain that I own, which is coderjourney.com. If you own another domain, then you have to type your domain name, then just leave these two fields as it is, then scroll down inside verifying your domain, just expand this and select easydkim, select RSA2048 and scroll down and just create identity. So what it will do, it will create an identity for our domain in SCS portal. And you can see this again. If you click here, verified identities, you will find that this identity has been created and verification is pending. So this SES doesn't know we own this domain, so it is asking us to verify this domain. So what it says, we have to publish these DNS records in our domain. So you have to go to your DNS registrar or where you are managing your domain. So it may be uh, GoDaddy, it may be Route 53 or something else, but I'm maintaining my DNS on Netlify. So uh, I will go there and I will select domain, and in domain I will click here and here are my DNS records. So in order to verify my domain, what I will do, I will just copy this CNAME and I will click here add new record. I will select CNAME. I will enter this. I will remove .coderjourney.com because they will automatically append it, and I will also copy the value. So I will copy the value. I will keep the time TTL short so that if something occurs, then we can troubleshoot it quickly. So I will just save this. Similarly, I will create all three records here. So I will just select CNAME. I will copy this and I will paste the value for this, and again I will keep the timeout just 1 minute, not timeout, TTL, yeah, time to live. So again I will select CNAME, and this is how I'm going to verify my domain. So I have just saved. Okay, so my all the three records with CNAME type have been added to my DNS settings, and it should not take much time, probably 2 or 3 minutes. It should verify your account. So I will click on verified entity, verified identities. Yeah. So here you can see, even it didn't take 1 minute, it immediately verified my account, which is now coming in verified state. So yeah, that's the first step, creating a verified identity. So we have covered both the points, which is creating a domain identity and then verifying it. So now we will move to our next step. So now we will understand how to receive email on business email ID. That means, okay, so again, I will take the example of my website. And what we are going to do, we are going to create a business email ID like mail@coderjourney.com. So now, if someone sends an email to mail@coderjourney.com, it should come to my email address. And how, what we are going to do, uh, basically, let me open this. So this architecture we are going to follow. So let's understand this, so that you will have an idea what we are going to do. So you can see that this is a user and it is sending an email to mail@coderjourney.com, which is my domain. Okay, so what will happen, for example, I mean, in this architecture or in this diagram, I am using the mail server as Gmail server. So this user is sending an email from its Gmail account, and that's why this mail request will come to this Gmail server. And what this Gmail server will do, it will first check at coderjourney.com, I mean, where this coderjourney.com is registered. So it will, for example, it is in either route 53 or, for in my case, it is netlify. So it will go there and it will ask for mx record. Mx record is something which is mail exchanger. So it tells like where is the mail domain is hosted uh, for this domain. I mean, where is the mail server? So now route 53, or the netlify or whatever your domain provider will return the value of mx record, which would be kind of an mail server which is capable of handling incoming emails. So from here we will return some value, and which would be a value of SES server. Now the request will come to SES server, and this Gmail server will send this mail to SES server, and SES will receive like there is a mail for coderjourney.com, and it knows that there is a verified identity. So it will, basically, we will create some rules, and using those rules, what it will do, it will save the incoming email to Amazon S3 bucket, and then it will, we will also create a lambda function that will download the email from that S3 bucket and will send that email to my Gmail ID, where I want that email to come in my Gmail box, in Gmail inbox. Okay, so that's the overall architecture we are going to follow. So let me scroll down. So here are the steps that we need to follow in order to achieve this. So first thing they say, publish MX records using okay, verify using MX toolbox. We will do the verification later. So first, publish MX records. Okay, so how we will get the these records, MX records. So for that, I will just click on this. Okay, because yeah, I will show you why I click there. And here you see that, once you click on that link, you will find that publishing an MX record. So what we are going to do, we are going to publish an MX record here. Okay, and what should be the value of MX record? So just select MX, and you can, click here Amazon SES region and endpoints. From here, you will click on email receiving and copy this value. Let me close this, sorry. So for North Virginia, copy this value, inbound SMTP US East 1 Amazon SES. Just go there and copy, sorry, yeah, keep it at the rate for the root domain coderjourney.com, and priority just type 10, and value will be this again, type 60 in TTL. And when you come on this page, you will see that they have explained like for example.com, they are using this 10 and inbound SMTP, then providing the region name. So the same thing we have done here. Okay, we have just applied the region. So we will create this DNS record, okay, and we'll save it. So now what happens when an email server like uh, this Gmail server sends an email to Coder Johnny, so it will send the request to this Netlify, and it will ask what is the mail exchange server. So from here it will reply with this value inbound. So it will respond with this value, and then the Gmail server will send that email to this particular server. Okay, so now we have to verify whether this MX record has been detected by uh, the internet or not. So we will go on this website. So again, I'm saying that you can find the link of this page in the description below. So here I will type coderjohnny.com and see. Okay, it is searching. Okay, so it found this. Okay, inbound SMTP US East 1. So that means we have done it correctly. I mean, and preference is 10. So we have done it correctly. So we are confident there. Okay, let me close this. So now next thing, as I said, that once the email comes at ACS service, it is going to save the email in S3 bucket and will also trigger a Lambda function. So for that we need to create these resources. Okay, and I will also show you, I mean, how the email will be saved stored in S3 bucket. And because we will set up some rules like what should happen when an email arrives for this verified identity. So we will set up those rules, but for that you have to create an S3 bucket and Lambda function. So I'm close this page, I will close this page. Okay, and I will also close this page. So you can I have provided a link here, so you can follow this link to create the Lambda function and the IAM role that would be required, the S3 bucket policy that would be required. So I will just keep this link open on this tab, and I will come here. I will first create an S3 bucket. Okay, so I will just type S3 and I will click S3, and I will click on create bucket, type the name of S3 bucket, and we'll scroll down to the bottom and we'll click on create bucket. Okay, so I have created S3 bucket, which is appearing here, right? Coders only SES mails. So as per this is this blog, uh, which is also about the same topic that I am explaining you right now. So you can just scroll down because they have also done the setup. I mean, also set up the domain here with the same way I have explained you. So now configure S3 bucket. Now you have to copy this bucket policy and just open a notepad, and I will open this notepad here, and you have to replace the bucket name and account ID. So what I will do, I will go here and copy my account ID, and here I will paste my account ID, and I will copy the bucket name as well from here. So what this policy is basically doing, it is granting access to Amazon ACS service on this bucket. Okay, and I will go in permissions inside bucket policy. I will click on edit and I will save. So this will allow SCS service to store to store or save files on this S3 bucket. So we are granting SCS permissions. So we are done with S3. We have created bucket. We have created bucket policy. Now what we are going to do? We are going to create a Lambda function. So if you scroll down, you see it is asking us to create a IAM policy and role. So what we are going to do? We are going to again copy this IAM policy and just paste it here, and I will just replace the bucket name. So again I will copy the bucket name. So we need to replace the placeholder. So what I will do, I will replace the bucket name and account id. We'll go back, copy the account id from here, account id, and region is US East 1. So I will just type US East 1 and will copy this. So now I will go in my IAM, and this is the IAM role for Lambda function. So I have to create that IAM role first, then we will create the Lambda function. So my IAM screen is loading. So I will click on roles. I will click on create role. I will select trusted entity AWS service. I will select here Lambda because Lambda is going to assume that role, and I will click on create policy, and inside inside this I will select JSON and I will paste all this. Okay, so we just got this policy from this AWS blog, and we'll save this. And this policy is basically allowing the Lambda function to write on S3, and it is also allowing it access to S3 because it is going to use S3 to send email and then CloudWatch access. So I will just provide this uh, policies, so some names. So what I'm going to do, I will provide this IAM role policy. Okay, and I will save this. Create policy is created. Okay, so I think, okay, I will have to find that policy here. uh, I have to refresh this. I have to find that policy here. Yeah, I got the policy, I attached it and clicked next. Then I will just type the role name Coder Johnny mail forwarder IAM role. So okay, so this is the role for the Lambda function that we are going to create next. Okay, so the role is created. So I will close this, and then we are going to create the Lambda function. So we'll just go on Lambda, and again you have to copy all the code from here to create this Python Lambda function. So you can find the link of this blog here. Okay, so don't worry, you will get there. So what I will do, I will create a function. I will okay, I had copied that code, so I will paste it here, and I will provide this name to my Lambda function, coder Johnny mail forwarder, and I will select Python as runtime, and here inside change execution role, so I will select use an existing role, and I will select the role that we created in previous step, and then I will check advanced setting, so not required. I will click on create function. So now next thing is need to update the code, so we have to update the code there. Inside code, just copy and paste it and deploy. So we have, okay, we have updated the Lambda function as well. So now we have to add few environment variables here. So what we are going to do, I will go in configuration, I will go in environment variables, I will click edit, add environment, add. There are four values, so a mail s3 prefix, sorry, here mail sender, mail recipient, and region. Okay, and the value for this, so for mail recipient, I where I want, where is mail sender? Okay, mail recipient, I didn't get. So mail recipient would be the email address where I want to receive the email. So I want to receive the email on my coderjohnny.web@gmail.com, which is my Gmail ID. So I want that any email that comes on my mail@coderjohnny.com should be redirected on this Gmail mailbox, and our SES S3 bucket name is this, and this is the prefix of uh, of the I mean, this would be the kind of folder in this S3 bucket where we will be storing our messages. This is the region and the mail sender. So this is the from part. Once the email will land up in your Gmail box, so what should be the from in that email? So it could be anything, because it will be using our Coder Journey verified identity to send email via SES. So it could be anything because we have verified our identity. So you can type anything here. Just keep this at the rate coderjourney.com part as it is, but prefix could be anything. Just save this. Okay, so now our function is also ready. So I think we have done everything. So we have published MX records, we have verified it using MX tool, we have created S3 bucket lambda function using this block, we have configured bucket policy IAM role. Okay, now next thing, the most important thing we are going to do next, which is creating a rule set and rule. So I will go back to, I will close this block. Now I will just go back and SES. Now what I'm going to do is I just click on this, and inside email receiving, this will click here. Okay, so we are going to uh, create rules here. So I will just delete this previous rule that I just created for testing. So now what I'm going to do, I will create a new rule set, and I will provide the name to this rule set. This, sorry, I will click on this rule set. Inside this rule set, I will click a new rule. So I will click here, and I will enter a name, Coder Johnny business email rule. Okay, this is simple. Just leave this unticked. I am not touching anything. Uh, okay, so now guideline. Okay, just remove. So here recipient condition. So add a new recipient. So I here you have to type an email address which you want to make a business email ID. So I'm just typing a mail at the coderjohnny.com. Okay, so this would be my email ID where I want to receive my business email. Okay, so you can type your business email ID here. Just click next. Now here the S3 bucket and lambda will come into the picture. So now what you want to do when the email is received by SES? So I just want to deliver it to S3 bucket. So here I will select the S3 bucket, which is Coder Johnny SES mails, and here the prefix, which would be kind of a further folder inside this S3 bucket. So we have provided business emails, and I will not select SNS topic. And so this is our first action. So first it will store the object in S3 bucket, and after performing that action, what we want to do next, we want to invoke a lambda function, and inside the lambda function I will select Coder Johnny mail forwarder, and uh, yeah, that's all. Okay, so we'll just click next, and mm, okay, so this is first action, this is second action, and we'll create rule. Okay, so now it is asking us the permission. So Amazon SES may not have necessary permission to access this lambda function, because we had added permission in bucket, but for lambda function, it is it wants some permission, so that Amazon SES can call lambda function. We have added the permission to call SES. I mean, to invoke SES functions from lambda function in that IAM role, but SES don't have permission to call lambda function. So it is asking us to add that permission, and so either we can just click on this add permission, or we can go on lambda function and we can add a resource policy there. So I will just click add permissions here. Now the rule is created, and we are all set. So what we are going to do, we will just see that verified it all three prerequisite defines for receiving an email at this page, which is basically setting up Amazon SES email receiving. So these three parts, prerequisites are done, because we have verified our domain, we have also published MX records, and we have also granted permissions to Amazon SES for email receiving. This is basically talking about permission to S3 bucket and lambda function and all that. So we are done with all the prerequisites. So now we want to test if someone send an email to this mail at the rate coderjourney.com, which works or not. So I will go on this website and I will just type my email address, which is mail at the rate coderjourney.com. I think I just use the same name. Okay, now I will select this and I will just click on send test. Okay, so I mean, this is a great news. In first attempt, it is successful, and I will just click on this, and you can see, oh, oh, it got bounced. Okay, so why it got bounced? Ideally, it should not get bounced. It should be sent. So, okay, so give me a minute. I will troubleshoot it, and we'll get back to you. Okay, so I got the reason why this email got bounced. So if we go in our SES and we see that if we have not activated this rule, so we have to activate this recipient rule in our rule set. So I will just select this, and or maybe we have to activate entire. We don't need to select it. We have to activate entire rule set. So just set as active. So now it is appearing set as inactive. So earlier our rule set was not active, so that's why emails were getting bounced. So now I will just refresh this again, and I will type my email ID mail at the rate coder.com, and I will just select this and will send it. So I will close the previous one and will select this, and it should be sent. Yeah, now it is in sent state, so that means the email has been delivered to this Amazon SES inbound server, and we have to verify it. So we will go in our S3 bucket and see if the email is downloaded there or not. So if we, sorry, I just selected wrong bucket. Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, I will select this, and you can see a business email folder has been created, and inside this two email notification or two emails are there. So this is the one which is just before 1 minute it got created, and if I just download this, okay, so the email is downloaded on my local machine, and if I just go there in and open it within Notepad plus plus, so you can see, sorry, so I will show you this. So you can see this email is has been sent from this path, and it is having in the bottom, it is having its body, message body. So we have successfully set up how we can receive email on our S3 bucket. But now what we are going to do, we are going to close this, and again we are going to go at our email address. So I will open my Gmail, and I will switch to my another account where which I had provided. So okay, we have not received the email here, so I will check the spam. Okay, we did not get here, so it means that our lambda function has not been invoked. So we'll see, uh, we'll go here in our lambda function, and we'll see the logs. So I will just type monitor logs and view in CloudWatch. So yeah, the lambda function has been invoked, but why it failed? Okay, email address is not verified. Okay, so you can see this email address. So it means that when it received the email and when it wanted to send that email to our another email ID, which is coderjohnny at the gmail.com, but that email ID is not verified because we are running this SES in sandbox. So what we have to do, we have to just type SES, and then we have to add that email as a verified identity here, so that we can send the email there. So I will just select email address, and I will just type coderjohnny.web@gmail.com, and I will create an identity. Okay, so the verification is pending. Again, I will go to my Gmail account, and from here I will just select my Corojoni web email ID. I will close this, and I got an verification email. I will just verify myself by clicking on this link, and yeah, my email is verified. I can see that it is appearing as a verified identity here as well. So now both identities are verified. So now if I send an email again on mail at coderjourney.com, from here, this is my third email. First code bounce, second is successful. Now I just sent another email from this website, and let's see it is received here or not. So you can see I have received an email in my Gmail account, and this mail was basically sent to mail@coderjourney.com, and we use mail forwarder in our Lambda function, and I have received this email. And again, the file that was, I can access the file from here, or I can download the mail from here as well. Now it is up to you how you want this, because you might be thinking like, I want to see the message here, not this content. So you can go to that Lambda function, and you can modify the Lambda function to display the exact mail body here. But this is how you can receive the email which have been sent on your business email ID. So in the next part we will understand how we can send an email from our business email ID. So now we have successfully received the email which was sent on our business email ID. In this step, or the last step, we will see how we can send email from our business email ID. So I will just close these tabs which are not required anymore. So I will, yeah, just keep this inbox, and yeah, I will close this as well. So what we are going to do in this, we are going to follow three simple steps. We are going to first create an SMTP user in Amazon SES. So here you will go on SES screen, and here you will find SMTP setting, and you will just copy this SMTP endpoint. So I will again open this notepad, and I will just copy the endpoint here, and okay, I will keep like this, and will port 587, that's fine. I will create my SMTP credential here, and I will provide this SMTP credential some name. So I will just provide this codage only SMTP user. Okay, and I will not touch this permission. I will just click create user, and I will copy my username, and I will copy my password. Okay, so I have my SMTP credentials ready for this SES. So I what I will do, I will just go to my Gmail account. So here I was receiving my emails, and I also want that I want to send email from mail@coderjourney.com from this Gmail client. So what I will do, I will go in more, I will go in manage labels. Here you will go in accounts and import, and scroll down, you will find that send mail as. So what this setting says, you can use Gmail to send from your other email addresses. So what you will do, you will add another email address here, and it will open a page like this, and here you will type the name from which email address you want to send the email. So you will use type mail@coderjourney.com. Will treat as an alias, select next, and here you will enter few details which we noted here. So inside SMTP you will copy this value, inside username you will copy this value, and inside password you will copy this value, and keep the port 587, and just click on add account. Okay, so now what happens, it will send us an email so that we can verify this. Okay, mail@coderjourney.com, like we own this email. So it has sent us an email, so let's see whether we have received that email in our email box. So we'll go here in inbox, sorry, um, in inbox, and we have got another email which is this. which which is a confirmation email. So what I will do, I will just download this and I will open this file in I will open a notepad here and I will bring that file here. So this is the email which has been sent by Google, and here's the verification email. So I just need to please click the link below to confirm your request, and what I will do, I will just hit enter and confirmation, I will click confirm. So once I click confirm, my email is verified, like my ownership has been verified. And now what I will do, I will again go back here in manage labels, account and imports, and yeah, my email has been added there. Okay, so now I will show you how we can send an email uh, from this email ID to some other email address. So again, as we are running in sandbox environment in our because our SCS is not in production access, so we can only send emails to verified identities. So our verified identity is only this Coder Johnny Web, which is from where we are going to send the email itself. So I will add another email address of mine, which is my personal email address, Ankush Jain 358 at the rate gmail.com, and I will just click on create. So I will open that email address and I got an email confirmation. I will just click on this. I got uh, the confirmation. I provided my confirmation. That's fine. So now what we are going to do, we are going to receive an email here, and for that I will I'm again in my coderjohnny.web@gmail.com account. I will click on compose, and while composing I will get two options. I want to send email from this, or I want to send an email from this. So I will just select this mail@coderjohnny.com. Where I want to send the email, I want to send the email to ankushchen358@gmail.com. Okay, and what would be my subject? This is testing SES. Okay, and this is the description as well, or the body as well. I will just click send. So let's see what happens. Why this button has been grayed out. Hmm, strange. Okay, let me compose another email. I will select this. I will select subject this. Here I will question 355@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it is not sending email. So let me again do a little bit troubleshooting. I will be back in just 1 minute. So I'm back, and honestly, I did nothing. I just refreshed this page, and then after I tried sending one email, and that was successful. So I can again show you. So I can just type this testing SES, and from here I can select coder Johnny mail at that coder Johnny in from, and in two I can type again my email ankushjain358@gmail.com, and again in the body as well testing SES. So this should I call it two, because I had sent one email in when I was troubleshooting. So I will just click on save, sorry, send button, and the email has been sent, and here I should receive an email. So I will just refresh this. Okay, why it is not receiving? Email has been sent from here. Okay, yeah, I just got the email. So you can see SES2 testing SES2. So that's how, I mean, I just showed you that how can you quickly, or not quickly, it may take some time, but you can create a business email ID for completely free. And yeah, you can start using this business email ID for your website or for your enterprise, whatever you want. So that's what I had to cover in this video, and I hope you have liked this video. And if you find this video useful, then please hit like button, and you can also share my channel for more such content about AWS and .NET. Thank you very much for watching.